Hey everyone, I'm your host Jade Arena and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. The Marvel Universe is littered with so many dark corners that give fans so much to speculate about, from whether or not the Avengers are evil to what's going on in the alternate universes. Well, I composed a list of the top 10 scariest Marvel theories. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and let's get into it. Number 10. Captain America was in love with Tony Stark's mom. I don't mean Maria Stark. But what if Tony Stark's real mom was Captain America's crush, Peggy Carter? We know that Tony's dad, Howard Stark, and Peggy Carter worked close together. Not only that, but Peggy Carter was one of Howard Stark's most trusted allies. They also worked together well into Howard's career. It was not too far of a stretch to say that they might have had some sort of affair. Howard was quite the playboy, but it might have not been cheating. Maybe Maria couldn't have kids, and Howard went to his best friend to carry his baby. So that could mean Tony Stark's biological mother could be Captain America's one and only. If this is true, next time Tony's insulting Captain America for being a clean Boy Scout, he could be like, well, I got dirty with one person. Number 9. Loki is behind everything. He's the god of mischief and could potentially be the mastermind behind everything that has been happening in the MCU. If you look at everything that Loki does, it's always a well thought out plan to get what he wants. In the Avengers, he's captured on purpose so he can get onto the helicarrier, get into Bruce Banner's head, and unleash the Hulk. He also grabs the Tesseract on Asgard right before it's destroyed. Almost like he knew it was gonna happen. Like he knew if he killed Odin, that would bring back Hela, which would cause the destruction of Asgard, so he could grab the Tesseract. He knew that Thanos was looking for the Infinity Stones, so that would give him the opportunity to help Thanos get his plan in motion. But why? Loki has said that he actually wants nothing to do with Earth, but he wants to rule over Asgard. Now that Asgard is dead, maybe he wants to rule over something else. Maybe the Avengers might give him something to rule over in the universe if Loki helps save it. So Loki put everything in the toilet so he could save it, look like a hero, and get what he wants from the people who used to see him as a mortal enemy. Could be true. Very clever. Number 8. Reality shakedown. What happens when actors get too old or tired to continue portraying our favorite heroes on the big screen? Well, we're all probably gonna freak out. I feel sorry for the first guy to take over the mantle of Wolverine. He's gonna get so much hate. There's just no one who can replace the jacked man, Hugh Jackman. But the question is, how are they gonna work the role changes into the movie? We've already seen it once when Don Cheadle replaced Terrence Howard as War Machine. They did just a little joke where Robert Downey Jr. says, "I didn't expect to see you here," and Don Cheadle goes, "Look, I'm here. Deal with it." It was a super clean transition and a good way to get the characters in. But for larger characters, we might need a little more, like using the Reality Stone to rewrite the universe and bring in new actors. This allows them to acknowledge the change of personnel within the movies, so we don't just have to ignore it. Number 7. Stan Lee is an MCU god. We already know that Stan Lee is a metaphorical MCU god, with him and Jack Kirby working together to bring some of the most amazing stories and characters to date. But how does Stan's character keep popping up in different places throughout the Marvel movies? Is this just a running gag for the viewers? Or is he actually Uatu the Watcher? Uatu the Watcher is an all-powerful being who's in charge of looking over Earth and the rest of the solar system. He has the power to go into other realities. This would explain why he appears in Marvel movies that aren't owned by Disney Studios, and why in the MCU movies he pops up everywhere, from New York to planets that are a million light years away. This would make sense because there's already speculation that Jack Kirby is the Beyonder, the all-powerful being behind the Secret Wars storyline. Number 6. Nick Fury can see the future. How is he always ready? Is it because he's like Batman, or because he can sense danger with an all-clairvoyant power? Also, I understand that making a comparison between Nick Fury and Batman is an unholy crossover. Spare me in the comments, please. But it would explain a lot. He knew when to assemble the Avengers. He knew when to fake his own death. And maybe even knew that Hydra was invading S.H.I.E.L.D. and made the helicarrier program so it unearthed Hydra and Captain America could take them out. It was also very convenient that he was carrying around the Flerken in Captain Marvel. Who knows if it's true? I bet if it is true, Nick Fury will be the last one to tell anybody. Number 5. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are Infinity Stone babies. The siblings were born with a potential connection to the Infinity Stones. In the comics, their powers are explained in a few different ways. They're both mutants, and Scarlet Witch also taps into some magical energy. But in the MCU, there's currently no mutants, so many fans believe that their souls came directly from the Infinity Stones. Either that, or they have some sort of link between the stones to draw their power. It would be Quicksilver having a connection to the Space Stone, which gives him super speed, and Scarlet Witch getting her powers from the Reality Stone to shape the world around her. This would explain why she was able to match the energy of the Mind Stone and destroy it. It takes a stone to kill a stone, I think. I don't really know. Number 4. Winter Soldier Patricide. If you've seen Captain Marvel Civil War, you know the big reveal at the end of the movie is that Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, was responsible for the death of Tony Stark's parents. But what if the one-armed assassin wasn't just sent out to take out Tony's parents, but also Spider-Man's as well? The hint to this is that one of Winter Soldier's code words to turn him into a super killing machine is Homecoming. We obviously know the first MCU Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't have faith in this theory. On one hand, I think it would be cool to have Hydra behind multiple deaths, including Peter Parker's parents. But weaving the Winter Soldier in there, we already forgave him for killing Tony's parents. Could we forgive him for killing two? 100%, but it would feel played out. Number 3. Ant-Man has always fought with the Avengers. This kind of goes with a flat earther logic where if you can't prove me wrong, it's true. Basically saying that Ant-Man has fought alongside with the Avengers in every battle. You just couldn't see him because he was too low. I mean, maybe in a future Marvel movie, it'll be revealed that Ant-Man is one of the greatest heroes with the smallest egos because he does so much work and asks for zero recognition. What a good man. I'm gonna go on the record and say this theory is true, because you can't disprove it. Also, the moon landing was fake. Number 2. Jules Winfield and Nick Fury are the same person.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
We all know this famous scene, one of the best moments in movie history. Well, it's obvious that Samuel Jackson plays both hard-boiled gangster Jules Winfield in Pulp Fiction and the even tougher Commander of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU. Well, some of you might have missed a little Easter egg on his tombstone in Winter Soldier, which read, "The Path of the Righteous Man." This is clearly a nod to the American classic Pulp Fiction. But what if it's more? What if Jules Winfield and Nick Fury are the same people? He changed his spots at one point and decided to stop shooting gangsters and protect mankind. What if the mysterious briefcase glow in Pulp Fiction is actually alien tech? This is unbelievable and far-fetched, but those are my favorite fan theories. Number 1. DC Marvel crossover. Blasphemy. Unheard of. How dare I suggest such a cursed idea? It might be true though. Think about it. We are currently in phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 1 was building the foundation with the original movies. Phase 2 brought them together in the Avengers. Phase 3 expanded the universe again. And Phase 4 brought them together for Infinity War. I can only imagine that Phase 5 continues to expand. They now have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, who will undoubtedly be added to the universe. And then we'll probably see it come together again in, say, Secret Wars or Avengers vs. X-Men. But then how do you expand again? Do we go with obscure characters like Moonlight? Or does Disney reach into their never-ending pockets and buy Warner Brothers? Have Superman fight Iron Man in a kryptonite suit? Have Wolverine versus Batman? If this were to ever happen, we probably wouldn't see it for another 11 years, and by then there might be no more clean water, so no one might care anymore. That's our list, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Write in the comments what your favorite superheroes are. Like always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been Shade. Good night.